Hey yo guys, what's up? This is your girl, DJ slash Dr. Prie Nkosazana, the future cardiologist. So today I just want to do a summation based on a topic, stress. So I am going to define what is stress, and then I'm going to talk about symptoms and signs of stress. I'm also going to talk about types of stress. I'm going to talk about causes of stress, and then I'm going to talk about stresses in a workplace or at school, and then the effects of stress. And then also what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about how to cope, when you have stress. So in my own way of understanding, stress is a reaction caused by ongoing, increasing, or new pressures or demands, or as the physical or emotional and mental tension caused by external circumstances. And as the body and the mind's reaction to everyday's demands, as I said, or threats. So something that causes strong feelings or worry or produce changes. It's something that causes strong feelings or worry or produce changes in your mind or in your body, you see. So yeah, so I think I've tried to define what stress is. Okay, so what we have to know as well is that symptoms or signs of stress, they differ within individuals. So I can say stress warnings or signs. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the cognitive symptoms, right? So you find that it's like you have amnesia, it's like you forget easily, memory problems, and you have that inability to concentrate, poor judgment, and in everything that you do, in everything that you see, like you just see negativity. You see, I think that's stress. And then anxiety, you'll be having racing thoughts and constant worrying. That's cognitive symptoms. And then we're gonna look at emotional symptoms. Emotional symptoms, that's when you be like moody all the time, you be agitated quickly, and just having a short temper and inability to relax. You just find it hard to relax, and feeling overwhelmed, the sense of loneliness, and you always isolating yourself from others, friends or family. Most of the time you just want to be alone. Also depression or just general unhappiness. So that's emotional, that's a emotional symptom. And then we also have the behavior symptoms. With others, as I said, that it depends with an individual. With others, you eat more. With others, they eat more. And then with others, they eat less. And then others, they sleep so much, like for long. And others, they hardly sleep. And then isolating yourself as well, and you'll be always procrastinating things that you're supposed to do, like you just don't believe in yourself, you just becoming reckless and neglecting your responsibilities, using drugs or alcohol just so that you can calm down, so that you can relax and be yourself, like you just depending on certain drugs for you to be yourself. And just having neighbors' habits, like always find yourself doing this, like biting your nails and pacing. So yeah. And then we also have physical symptoms. You'll be having aches and pains, upset tummy, diarrhea, constipation, laziness, the chest pains, your rapid heartbeat. Yeah, And then you be like, let's say when it's summer or when it's hot outside, you'll be feeling cold, so like you'll be feeling that frequent coldness even when like the sun is blazing, and also the other thing, this is for adults now. I don't know if I should say adults or what, but then maybe you married and then loss of sex, like you don't want no intimacy, you just wanna, yeah, I can't say much about that, but yeah, loss of sex and sex drive. Yeah. And so now we also have two types of stress. Okay, we have eustress. Eustress is the healthy stress. It's the positive stress. It's the stress that keeps you going. It's the stress that motivates you to do better. Like, let's say if you have an exam, you know that you gotta study. If you know that you have a gig or something, you know what you have to do, you gotta prepare, you just have to plan your things accordingly. Maybe like it's whereby your adrenaline rushes, but in a normal way, because like if you lose too much adrenaline, it's also harmful. So yeah, so that's the type of positive stress, you see. And then we also have the one that is unhealthy. The unhealthy stress that we have is called distress. Yeah, distress. Distress is a stress that, like, it's like extreme fear. That one, like, it just makes you uncomfortable, about a lot of things. You are scared, you are it's just unhealthy stress. And then other types of stresses that we have acute stress, we have acute episodic stress, we also have chronic stress. So the one that is acute is the stress that will usually, like, it comes quickly, and then it does not last for long, but then it's the most intense stress, you see. And then it just happens in a short term. It doesn't happen in a long term. So that's acute stress. And then the acute episodic stress, it refers to a situation where, like, stress seems to be a way of life. Like, maybe this month you just lost your job, and then the other month you lost your parents. Like it's like your life is constantly filled with, like, sorrows. It's like one stressful event after the other, you see. So, like, it's happening in a chronological way, you see. So it's never ending. Yeah, that's why they call it episodic stress. And then you may become easily irritated, insensitive with other people at home or at work, because it will be just too much for you to handle. It will be just too much for you to, to cope. And then we have chronic stress. Oh, that stress is a stress that comes from a long lasting event or circumstances that are just beyond your control. You can't do anything about it, so it results to a feeling whereby you'll be feeling hopeless. You will be pessimistic. You'll be feeling hopeless, man, feeling like you're useless, you're feeling helpless. You'll be miserable, and it really, really affects you, like, in a long time. That one, it's chronic, like, it's no joke. That one is just bad, extremely bad. And then I want us to look at major causes of stress. Like, in life, man, there are major life changes, transformations, transitions of life. There's so many things that happen. if you can lose your loved one, losing parents, if you had to divorce, find out that you didn't even sign a prenup, so now they have to take whatever that you have worked hard for. You find that retrenchment. Yeah, and then we also have social stresses. So a stressor is the pressure that leads you to stress. A stressor is the pressure. Yeah, it's the pressure that leads you to stress. Yeah, so we call it stressor. So it can be a social stressor, it can be an environmental stressor, physical, it could be a socioeconomic stressor, yeah. So if it's social stresses, it has to do with your relationship issues, it has to do with your family changes or loneliness, and then environmental stressor, it has to do with your work or school. Maybe the work is just like overwhelming, it's just overload, and the deadlines, you can't meet them, and then lack of employment. And then when we have to look at socioeconomic stresses, we're looking at poverty, we're looking at financial problems. Like it's just so much, like you can't take it. And then also we have like the nutrition one, whereby you have a poor diet, poor nutritional intake, poor eating habits. All those, they are not nah. And then you also have the ones whereby you're using substances to cope, substances abuse, alcohol, smoking, drugs, and medication, all those things. Like too much of everything, they always say that it's just not good. And then also the physical inactivity, that one, it's also a result of chronic disease and pain and trauma such as sexual abuse, accidents, and disabilities. Those are stresses as well. So yeah, you gotta watch out for those. And so now at work, sometimes you might find out that you've got a difficult supervisor, you working long hours, you have to cover up for other people. There are some people that you can't just deal with, you can't like tolerate. Yeah, so it's like that. It's just hectic. Yep. And then as well, we also want to talk about the effects of stress at school, at your workplace. Find out that there are disputes in the work group, the complaints, maybe you're a manager or supervisor, the complaints are just increasing day by day. The increase in absence due to illness, people, absenteeism, like it will be very, very, very high, and poor performance, non-productivity, customer dissatisfaction, loss of productivity and money, poor motivation for you to go to work, or for you to get going, or for you to study. Yeah, so those are the effects. And then I want us to look at the coping strategies. The coping strategies, I would say, you have to identify your stressor, identify what is stressing you, identify what is killing you, what is chowing you. You have to start there. Once you identify your stressor, you can now be able to avoid a lot of things, or you can now be able to work through it. Or actually, don't run away from your stresses, just find ways of coping or dealing with it, because running away will only do harm. You have to develop your right views. You don't have to set unrealistic goals. You can't say that like, for instance, as an artist, you find out that you are in the studio almost every day, and you tell yourself that in the next 6 months I want a hit. That is not up to you. You know, I think what we just have to do, you put in work and then you pray about it, and then you just let God take over the rest. Because now if you say after 6 months I want to be known, or I want to be famous, I want to make so much money, what then happens if corona comes through and then you are not gigging? What then happens if like your equipment gets stolen? What then happens like if you're not, like, a lot of things can happen. You lose your loved one, you have to go home, and then like, so you must be realistic with your goals, and always know that some of the things you can only put in work, but the rest is up to the universe, the rest is just up to God. So you just put in your work, be realistic about a lot of things, and then you stop comparing yourself with others. You might say, okay, we went to school together, but then now she has a mansion, she's driving this, and I'm still here in the shack. So what? So what? Because even with our fingers are not the same. They are not like equal. That should say a lot. So you just have to know that you have to walk your own path. Don't live according to, or don't let people put a time frame, you understand, in your life. Or don't get that pressure whereby, nah, this person has achieved this because we used to work together and what. No, you shouldn't do that. Otherwise it's just gonna cause it's just gonna give you a distress. So don't compare yourself with others. Just put in the work and just wait for God's time, and then learn to also accept inevitable things. There are things that you just cannot control, man, in life. You just need to accept it, and then you have to make decisions when you need to, even if it means that you're gonna hurt your friends or whatever. Like, let's say you know that you're writing next month, and your friends are calling you left and right, come, let's chill and what. No, just tell them, I can't, I need to study, I need to do this, I need to do that. If there are people borrowing money from you and you know that you only have this certain amount and you wanna go for a license, take your license, tell the person straight up, I don't have any money with me, because that money is not yours. It's meant to do something else. So make decisions when you have to, man. Stop thinking about the next person. Sometimes in life we just have to put ourselves first, and then you have to plan your day, organize your things, like plan your things. Don't do your last minute things and what. And then you must exercise regularly, and drink lots of water, and have recreational activities and hobbies. And if you can, lend a helping hand. If you can, like, you can cook during weekends, go give out 1, 2, 3 people that are there on the streets, give blankets, give clothes to other people. Just be kind. That is, if you can, pray for others. You don't need to necessarily give out something. Let them know that you care about them. Pray for them, be there for them, and always think good thoughts. Like right now we're going through the deepest time. Like, it's so tough. Have good thoughts, be positive, be optimistic about life. Know that everything has got its time and place, and age and everything will pass. The days will never be the same. So always have good thoughts, and then you must always practice relaxation techniques. If you like, you just play your slow jams, and then just meditate. Just visualize yourself like being a better person. Find your coping skills. If it means reading, take a good book and then you read. Take a walk, play a game, chess, do breathing exercises, paint if you can, do yoga. And then one of the most important things, I think, is to have a positive self-talk with yourself. Like, know that, like, I am worthy, Just know that. Know that I'm worthy. I'm going to come out of this. Never use harmful substances because they cannot relieve stress. I think they can only just, harm you and make things worse, you see. So yeah, those are the things that you really, 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 really have to consider. But other than it all, I think you just have to also try and learn how to deal with your emotions. Deal with your emotions, speak to people, laugh a lot, embrace your challenges, and also you must build like good relationships. Be good to your friends, your partner, get support, find support, and also you must learn how to manage your time management is really like critical, so that you don't have to now do things in the last minute. So other than that, guys, stress is really something that we don't talk about all the time, but it's something real. So you must always find like coping mechanisms and like management techniques. Otherwise you can die because of stress. You understand? So always try to stay positive, even because like the levels of stress. A low level of stress, that means you can be able to cope with your stress, and then the one that is high, that you need to do something about it. So yeah, guys, please take care of yourselves and stay positive all the time. I know that it ain't easy. A lot of people are dying because of depression. Sometimes you find that you feel like nobody's understanding you, nobody's there for you, but if you feel that way, if you feel like you're alone, just, if it means praying, just kneel down and talk to your God, man. If you have a pet, talk to your pet, or call that one person and just speak to them. It's always good to speak out, and also it's always good to cry. If you feel like it's just too much, just cry, because depression is real, guys. And with artists, I know, like right now they're going through a lot. So the only thing that you can pray for is to have good family, good friends, people that support you, and always remember that days are not the same, and never compare your time frame like with others. You might find out that God might actually like make you a billionaire like at the age of 50. You might find that God can make me a billionaire at the age of 17. So like, things are just, only God knows, man. The universe knows. So don't compare yourself. You might find out that you might die without even being a billionaire, but that shouldn't stop you from living your best life. You understand? Sometimes life is not all about money. It's about impact. It's about, with the little that you have, what is it that you doing to other people, how you talk to people, how you talk to your family, your children, the people around you. You understand? Sometimes you might find that your smile can just brighten someone's day. So it's not always about what you have, but all I'm saying is that if you have, you can share. But if you do not have, just be nice to people. Don't be mean. Stop comparing yourself. This Instagram post and all of that, don't put pressure on yourself. Don't. Peer pressure has ruined a lot of people's lives. Other people started drinking alcohol because their friends think they're stupid or whatever. Started taking drugs because they think it's the coolest thing. No, just do you, be you, do what works for you. Pray to God to be with you, and always stay positive. And that's it for the day. This is your girl, DJ / Dr. Prie Nkosazana. See you again next time.